I went to the Performing Arts School because Father Doerr was very kind enough to let me out of my contract so I could go to the Performing Arts School to teach. And I told him I would do it for 5 more years so that make sure everything would work. Well, here it is.
Yeah.
45 years.
Just curious, what crushes did you teach?
Oh, now, how many uncles and dads do you have? You know? Was
Jeremy? My brother.
Jeremy, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was your brother?
Yeah, he's my older brother.
Okay.
With the poster?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. hmm And out of all the plays you've been involved with, which one would you say is your all-time favorite?
Why do people ask that question? You know what the real answer to the question is? It's the one you're working on at the moment. Because you dedicate yourself to doing it totally. So it's not a fly-by-night thing that you just pull off and you just sort of do it, you know?
Yes.
In other words, you love the one you're with.
Yeah.
You know? So it is, it's really that sort of thing. So that is, oh, I can say there are plays from the past that are very exciting to do. Straight plays like The Lion in Winter and Mr. Roberts. Last year's The Miser. Those are straight plays. Musicals have been a couple of things that we have repeated, because I don't repeat them very often.
Yeah.
And those were, a funny thing happened over the Forum, which is perhaps the funniest musical comedy anywhere at any time. And The Fantastics, which is just a joy to do. It's a small musical.
hmm
And then, say, a couple other things, like Minnie's Boys, Carousel, Bat Boy, things like that.
All right. And what is your favorite part about producing? Or
I don't produce,
Or
I'm the director,
direct these plays, sorry.
teaching people how to act. Watching students realize the drama when it clicks, and understanding that this piece of literature that exists on a piece of paper, when it comes to life and becomes a thing and that is theirs, it doesn't belong to somebody else. It's not something you do because the teacher said do it. You do it because you understand it, and this is then that too becomes a kind of a love affair with the student.
And what is your favorite memory that you have with any play?
I think it's a recurring one. That moment of realization with when a student realizes fully that this thing is truthful. It's reciting words, but it's also the clicking together.
Yeah.
Where they are, and it's not some kind of of words into phrases, phrases into ideas, ideas mold philosophy. You should have had a tape recorder going. You would have got more. That's my favorite moment of watching that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I can go sit in the back of the building and do nothing else, I can sit down and watch it. This is the matter, because I don't, while they're doing it, I'm not coaching. There's very little involvement of mine once it becomes theirs, and we hand it to them.
Yeah.
Nothing to say. And I will give notes until we close it,
Mm-hmm.
so that they, right, because see, it's organic. It's not something that's fixed. You know, this isn't going to change. Molding it, art, it continues to change. And it's over. And each time you do it, you're reaching for perfection. And since perfection eludes human beings, you're constantly striving. But it's not frustrating, it's rewarding, because every time something else happens. It's something that is very human and very creative while they're doing it.
Let's play the Warriors. What is the main theme, would you say?
Well, this is the more you sort of look at the subtitle, A Reflection on PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
This is a play about what war does. So it's not a play about war or anti-war, what it does to the people who have to go fight it. And yes, I wrote it.
When did you write this play?
I started last year.
And why did you?
I've been traveling around for about the last 10 years. I've been in cities on the whole eastern half of the United States. And everywhere I go, I see these men, and then I start seeing women who are just sort of standing around.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, what are these people doing? Investigating. I've had a lot of them were veterans.
Mm-hmm.
And see, they don't look any different from you and me, so nobody thought anything was wrong with them. We're talking about the ones who lost their limbs.
Yeah.
They can't, they're blind. No. You look at them, they look normal. Now, some of them look like street people, and they're not really clean, that sort of thing. But the point is, and some of them can't get any help. Some of them can't take help. Some of them don't they have people to help them. And some of them just who can't go inside, they can never go inside.
Mm-hmm.
And odd things set them off. A barking dog, you often hear that in those villages where they were fighting.
Yeah.
And it's something would blow up.
Mm-hmm.
A car backfiring. In this city, the last 2, 3, 4th of Julys, they've had places so vets go, get away from fireworks.
Yeah.
Sets them off. That was very painful. Just calling them bums because they don't have jobs. They're standing around. And it seems like because they don't look like the middle class is supposed to look,
Yeah.
it seems like they're not doing anything. And so people will, so why don't they get a job?
Mm-hmm.
Well, some of them can't.
Yeah.
They can't hold a job. So some guys come back, they're all right.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a whole lot of people who come back And now that women, see, this is an interesting thing. We've never had this before. This condition has been around for thousands of years. They call it the 1,000-yard mile, whatever the Greek word was for that. Wars, the Peloponnesian Wars, the Persian Wars, the Trojan Wars, they'd come back, take their armor off, and sit down and just stare into the sea.
Mm-hmm.
What was wrong with them? We didn't really have a name for it. We used to can ignore it.
Yeah.
But see, also, when people would come back, most of the time people had things to do,
Mhm.
like physical things to do.
Yeah.
In America, faster and faster. There's less for people to do. When men with what was called shell shock,
Mm-hmm.
well, they put them in some kind of therapy and they give them a job to go dig ditches, go do some work. And it worked it out. They worked it out. World War II, a lot of men came back with it. They didn't talk about it. So they drank.
Yeah.
But they were functioning drinkers.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the plant every day, to the hardware, to the whatever they were making, that kind of thing. It got worse with the Korean War. I know a man who's in his mid-60s, who was in Vietnam. 2 years ago, he started having flashbacks. Those kinds of stories propelled me to want to go back to a Greek form
Mm-hmm.
where this had been examined by Aeschylus. When Aeschylus, when the Greeks fought the Persians, and the Greeks won. The Persians had attacked them, but the Greeks won, as they were apt to do. But he wrote a play not about them winning, but about what happened to the Persians.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a great